Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be going over 5 players that have stood out during the Washington Commanders minicamp, which has been over the last few days. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. All those things help out a ton. Also, comment down below the player that has impressed you the most from what you've heard and maybe from some of the clips that you have seen during minicamp. And yeah, let's get right into it. So 3 days of minicamp. Now the Commanders have around 6 weeks, roughly 6 weeks until, got a fly near me, but about 6 weeks, or maybe a gnat, I don't know, 6 weeks until training camp starts. So this is a huge period for a lot of these players to, okay, they got a few weeks of work in during, April, May, and a little bit of June. Now, use that feedback and, those new things you learned from the coaches and, apply it and get better at those things and come back to training camp a different player. That's the goal. Some of the players will do that. Some of the players won't. And that's just how it is every single year. But the players that do that are the ones that are going to be successful in this league and are going to be successful for this team and are guys we want to have in the future. So let's go over some players that have done well from what we've heard, and it is just mini camp. We're not even at training camp yet, so it's not just because they're doing good in mini camp doesn't mean they're going to be good this season for them, and doesn't even mean they're going to do good at training camp. It's just some things we're hearing and some good things. So this is Jayden Daniels. He's been doing pretty well from what we've seen. Throws a absolute dot to Jahan Dotson right there. I mean, it's a short pass, but that's one of the things he kind of did struggle with in college sometimes is the short accuracy. I guess it's not too short. It's hard to see in that clip, but he throws a nice pass to Jahan Dotson there. And there's some more clips I can go and show you guys as well. We'll go ahead here to JP Finley. I'm pretty sure he had a huge, like a 40-second clip that he posted as well. So I'm just going to go to that. But yeah, Jayden overall has been good. A lot of zip on the passes. I think Jayden threw one interception, and it was a tipped pass that Jeremy Chin actually got. So he's been pretty good and been getting work in with the first team. And there's, Sam, and him and Sam Hartman have had some really good chemistry, which is good to hear as well. You see Jayden Daniels getting in some work right here. This was on the first day. He gives a handoff to Austin Eckler there and is getting some work in. And then also threw the ball as well. Let me see. Or did he just fake it? I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, he got the handoff or the snap and threw the ball as well. So just showing you guys some random clips here from Jayden Daniels, just so you guys can see, because sometimes I'm just saying what's happening, but you guys don't really get to see it. So just going to go one more clip, because there was one that was like 40 seconds worth that I'm trying to pull up for you guys. You see, here's Jayden Daniels. This is it right here. Really clean. His footwork there, and then does a little bit of a throw on the run here in a second, and throws it right in the breadbasket is what people were saying. I could not think of the right word last video, and he threw it right in the breadbasket. So he's been very accurate, which is good, even in some rain and not so great weather. His footwork's been good. A lot of zip on the passes. There's been a couple times where he's thrown at the running back's feet. That's what I think Eckler mentioned, but that's a learning, it's going to happen. And that is one of the things he did struggle with at college and at LSU was the short passes sometimes would, be a little bit inaccurate. But so far, we've heard a lot of good things and seen a lot of good things from Jayden Daniels. He's been getting there early, 5:45 every morning is when he's getting there. So we're hearing good things, we're seeing good things. Now just got to continue into the next process, which is the off season between between mini camp and training camp, and then hopefully we see good things in training camp and then preseason and then the regular season. Next guy, Quan Martin has been making some plays, and I just had to shout him out for this. Just a really, really good interception. It was him. Marcus Mariota threw it, and it was a little bit of a wobbly pass, and he makes a great interception. I'm not even going to talk, to show you guys it, and then we can talk about it. See there, kind of tips it up and then catches it behind his back and then runs it back to the crib. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's just an amazing play. He like bats it up and isn't able to get it originally. But the reaction time to, in half a second, not even, put your hands behind your back and make that play, that is just absolutely amazing. That is absolutely amazing. You see the offensive lineman run out of the way there, and that was Marcus Mariota threw it, and there's Chris Rodriguez. 99% sure that's him. Can't see the first number, but yeah, that is Chris Rodriguez. I guess Marcus Mariota was throwing it to him, and Quan Martin just makes a great play. I mean, that's insane. I mean, sometimes people do that just playing catch, but to do that in an actual game-like setting, I know it's not a game, but it's a game-like setting. They're doing 11v11. To make that interception is just absolutely insane, and got to give him props for that. And, you know, early on, it was not good at all with Quan Martin. In his rookie year, during preseason, he was just getting, you know, burnt left and right. But we said, you know, he's talented. He just needs to get more reps in. He started to get more reps in, and still struggling a little bit. In the actual games. But again, the more reps he got, the better he played, and was starting to make some plays midway through the season to, you know, the later part of the season. So I'm excited to see what Quan Martin can do, whether he plays safety for them or nickel. That is, you know, remains to be seen. I think that also depends on how Mike Sainristil plays for them. If he's ready, then they might just play Mike at slot and then have Quan at free safety. But, you know, they've got things to work out. They got a lot of versatile guys, but excited for Quan Martin. And he's one of those guys that he's a tweener, but he has potential. It's a big year for him, though. You know, there's a lot of guys that it's big year for them. And Quan Martin is one of those guys who, you know, again, didn't play a lot last year, but has that potential, and he's shown it there with that interception. And yeah, you can't really have much of a better interception than that. And another guy that has been balling out a little bit is Jeremy Chin. Had an interception off Jayden Daniels the other day, off a tipped pass, and Dan Quinn highlights his versatility, you know, Quan Martin as well, so a little bit more on Quan Martin, and then Frankie Louvu. So he said, I would say it's been good to see Quan Martin, you know, some down in the box, with some as a middle field safety. He talked about Frankie Louvu as well. And he said, I would say some of what I was hoping to see, I did, and maybe that's with Jeremy Chin in terms of versatility. So talked about him. So really excited, you know, he's really excited about how Jeremy's played, Quan and Frankie Louvu. They've got a lot of versatility in this defense. You can even add Percy Butler, who can play multiple spots. You can, you know, say Derek Forrest, he can probably play multiple spots as well. Mike Sainristil, he can play multiple spots. A lot of different guys that can play 2-3 different spots on this defense. And, you know, that is good. It is very good. If you have, you know, too many guys in one room, then you could maybe get one of those guys and play them in a different room. And that's what they might be doing with Jamin Davis, making a full video on that tomorrow. And that's what they could do with some of these other guys as well. But Jeremy Chin is an absolute stud. It's a 1-year deal. So if he does ball out, we might not be able to pay him, but it'll be a good, worth it year. And if we don't pay him and he gets a payday, we'll get a comp pick. So it'll be worth it in the end. But ideally, we get a, you know, deal done with him before free agency hits, or even this season. It's going to be hard to happen, but let's just focus on right now. And, you know, right now, Jeremy Chin is, you know, looking good, and he's a very versatile player. Will get you some sacks sometimes, tackles for loss, and going to be our starting strong safety more likely than not. Free safety still up in the air. Who's going to, you know, do that? They might be doing a lot of rotating. I mean, Joe Wade even said they don't have 11 starters. They have 17 to 18 guys that are plug and play that can play in different spots. So even if you're not a starter, you might still get a lot of playing time. Next guy, and they haven't done a lot of reporting on these different play. Like, I feel like usually they do more reporting on play-by-play and minicamp and stuff, but I guess they're not doing this year. But Brian Robinson, couple touchdown. I read from Zach Selby's notebook, couple touchdown catches today. B-Rob continues to develop as a pass catcher. That was something very surprising last year. I mean, we knew he could do it a little bit, but like to the extent he did, I was surprised of how much he was able to do it and how well he was able to do it last year. And he's continuing to do it. continuing to do it. 2 touchdowns, and with Jayden Daniels, so good to see him getting some reps in there. And Zach Selby says, touchdown Jayden to B-Rob, dropped on the bucket over a few defenders' heads. And yeah, so hopefully Brian Robinson can continue to develop as a pass catcher. I mean, honestly, he might even be better as a pass catcher right now than he is as a runner. As a runner, he's like okay, but as a pass catcher, I mean, you look at the stats, and I mean, let's Brian Robinson, look at his stats. I mean, he had like 500-ish yards receiving last year, and he had that big game against Seattle. Let's see how many. I guess not 500. He had 400 receiving yards, but still, like that's a lot for a running back. And he had 4 receiving touchdowns, which is definitely a lot. He had 733 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns on fewer carries than he did in his first year, because Bieniemy just did not love running the ball. And yeah, even though he played in fewer games and was hurt last year, or in 2022 in his rookie year, he still got more carries in his rookie year than this year, which is saying something about Eric Bieniemy right there. Next guy, this is the last guy, and this is a sleeper. And I forgot to shout out Ed Oliver, is always making these videos. I haven't done a lot recently on the standouts, so wanted to bring it back, but I know Ed always does those as well. So make sure you guys check him out. Of course, you guys already know Ed's the GOAT. Great YouTuber, and yeah, check him out. Of course, I mean, y'all already subscribe to him, but Rhiannon Walker right here. Good to see that she's back. I guess, I think she was gone for a while, but she used to report on the team at least a few years ago. But I guess she's there at Minicamp, and she says, wow, Marcus Mariota threaded the needle between 3 defenders for a beautiful touchdown throw to Davion Davis in the back of the end zone. Davis got his knee down to make the catch. I also heard yesterday, I think I read from Zach Selby, that he made another really good catch as well. So Davion Davis, sleeper to make the roster. USFL guy, stud there. Played with the Texans for a little bit. Doesn't have a lot of NFL experience, but still relatively young. And again, if he continues to ball out like this and make big plays, he's going to get a chance to make this roster. And he's playing with the ones and twos. I mean, Marcus Mariota, he's caught a pass from him. I believe he caught a pass from Jayden Daniels as well yesterday. So he has a chance to make this roster, and really didn't hear about him. I don't know when we got him. Maybe it was around late free agency or draft period, but USFL guy, and he's been making plays, so he has a chance to make this roster. If he continues to do that, he definitely has a chance. I mean, the first 3 guys, Terry, Jahan, and Luke, are all locks to make it, but then after that, I don't know who's making it. Like Diami, he should make it, but he has to show something. Zacchaeus could make it. Crowder could make it. Casimir Allen could make it. I mean, Bryson Tremaine, I would say that's an honorable mention. He's been making some plays as well. It's not a deep group, so a lot of these guys, that's probably the biggest position battle this offseason is going to be receiver. Really 3 guys battling, or 7-8 guys battling for 3 spots, which usually it's maybe 1 or 2 spots, but there's going to be 3 spots open, which is more than usual. But there's a lot of guys that are kind of close to each other in their level of play that are going to be competing for that spot. But that is it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. And today, if you guys stayed till the end, I'm still trying to think of a player. Go ahead and comment down below. Ty and Seki, he used to play for us, then went to the Cowboys. I think the Bills as well. Not completely sure, but yeah, comment Ty and Seki. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy it, and peace.